So last time, soon after we had finished looking at the universalization of elementary education, I believe if my memory serves me well, we start looking at the problems in universalization of elementary education. Thereafter, we went straight to understanding and respecting diversity, right? Diversity. I'm interested in the word diversity. It comes from the word diverse. Likewise, we are talking about children with special needs, children with special needs. That is to say, children who need special kind of education, they are different. So the kind of disability is not the same. And again, apart from that one, looking at the disability, we can also say students in a classroom can be diverse. Some of them with disabilities, different types of disabilities, whilst others don't have. They seem to be, they are normal. Now, I want us to understand the word diversity. Previously, diversity, I said, it refers to the quality of being different. The quality of being different. The quality of being different. And again, diversity can also mean to say the art of acknowledging uniqueness of learners. A teacher, it's his duty to acknowledge that the students which are in his class or her class are not the same. They are different. Students who are in his class are not the same, but are different. That's diversity. Again, there are several international instruments which have been put in place to focus on the rights of a particular group facing exclusion, either exclusion or discrimination, such as in education. Several international instruments. Some of these instruments, like the United Nations Charter on the Rights of the Child, which states that all children have the right to education. That's one international instrument. United Nations Charter on the Rights of the Child. And this one states that all children have the right to education. And the failure to provide education to such kind of children is tantamount to causing a breach of respecting the rights of the child. You are breaching the rights of the child, no one has said. And the failure to provide education and create the conditions for individuals' progress may be seen as a denial of child's right. Clearly, the United Nations Charter is demanding a country, is demanding a community to respect the rights of the child in as far as education is concerned. And denial to that is to say, you are infringing the rights of the child. You are infringing the rights of the child. So such thinking analyze the approach to individual education planning for students with disabilities based on the human rights. legislation. So you are required as a country, and in each and every country which is a member of the United Nations is called to doing this, or to respect this, or even to protect this right. The right of the child in education. So each instrument incorporates a statement about education. There are quite a good number of these instruments. And each instrument incorporates statements about education. And above all, inclusive education has emerged to be one responding to diversity. Inclusive education. If we are talking about inclusion, we are including a group of people which are different in order to make that particular different groups to be alike, to be equal. We're talking much about the equalization of a different group of people. So diversity, I'm saying, is a different group of people or children, like in a classroom like this one. Now, inclusive education is coming in to bring all these, or to put all these students together, so much so that they should look alike. They shouldn't be different, even though in their development they are different. But when it comes to respecting the rights of the child, these children are supposed to be put together in one box, not separate box. No one inclusive education is being introduced. So inclusive education focuses much on the inclusion of people with disabilities, and I've earlier on said disabilities are different. I may give you a very good example of different disabilities. Previously, we talked in the last class, we talked about these forms of disability. These forms of disability. We talked about hearing impairment. We also talked about what kind of impairment did we talk last time? Yeah? Visual, and the other one, learning impairment or learning difficulties. Right? And the last one, multiple. I didn't do much on the learning difficulties. Let us talk much about these learning difficulties, because this one again will link us to diversity. Learning difficulties. Let us talk along these lines to say special learning difficulties. This is when a child or a learner is able to do well in some areas of learning, just in some areas of learning, but have problems with other areas. The child is able to do better in some areas, whilst in the other areas he's failing, or is having problems. He's failing or is having problems. For instance, they may have difficulties in calculating mathematics, but do better in other subjects like science, physical science, biology, or agriculture, or even language subjects. So that's a challenge, that's a problem. No wonder even last time I went further, giving you some examples of these technologies, like we did mention about dyslexia. Dyslexia, that's difficulties in learning to read visual processing or disorder. Difficulties in learning to read visual processing disorder. I also talked about dyscalculia, that's calculations. I'll not go much on that one because I gave you earlier on. And we also looked at the characteristics of this specific learning difficulties, of which I did mention to say the first characteristic could be wide range of difficulties, such as spelling, writing, and so on and so forth. That's good, if you remember them. I also said another characteristic could be low intelligence. Low intelligence, and sometimes even emotional behavior problems. I also did mention about speech and language problems, which are falling on the same special learning difficulties. From there, remember we are looking at the diversity in the special needs. Okay, from there we are also supposed to know about the intellectual disability. This is another type of a learning difficulty. Intellectual disabilities, or sometimes it's regarded as, or is also known as, mental retardation. Mental retardation. This is a substantial limitation in present levels of functioning, reflected in delayed intellectual growth, and can be manifested in an appropriate or immature reaction to one's environment. That's substantial limitation. There's limitation. If someone, or if a child or student is having intellectual disability or mental retardation, it means he has some limitations in present levels of functioning. You're lost. Where are you lost? Okay, I'm saying someone who has that problem, the so-called intellectual or disability or mental retardation. It means that particular person has limitations. You know the meaning of limitations? He has limitations in the present levels of functioning. Functioning reflected in delayed intellectual growth. He's not growing intellectually. And when we talk about intellectual, it has to do with upstairs here. Thinking, to be in line with intelligence. So, delayed, is facing some delayed intellectual growth, and that delayed growth can be manifested or can be seen in inappropriate or immature reactions to one's environment. The way how he's reacting to his environment, there's a problem. There's immaturity because of the problem upstairs. And below, sometimes it's below average performance. If he's at school, how does he perform? It's below average. For those students who are below average, they are categorized or they are being put under this group, the so-called intellectual disability or mental retardation. So, below average performance in academics is regarded as a problem in the area of intellectual or learning. Now, this problem is categorized into the following. A person who has developed this problem goes through these levels. The first level could be mild. The first level could be mild, and from there it goes up to moderate. It goes up to moderate, and from moderate it can also go to severe. Severe, that's a dangerous level. It means a person with that particular problem was not taken good care of. No any attention was being given to him or to her. So severe. And finally, profound. These are some of the categories through which a person with mental retardation goes through. You're lost.
The first one
I said the first one is mild. The very little, it's slight, mild. Mild. M-I-L-D, mild. And the second one is moderate. And the third one is severe. After severe, and then profound. The last one is profound. Let us again look at another diverse or diversity, diverse group on the disability. And remember, we are on the many disabilities or difficulties, right? We are on communication disabilities. So communication disabilities, on this one, communication is the way of conveying information from a source to a receiver. There are two destinations when communication is looked at. Where there is communication supposed to be done, there are 2 points, point A and point B. Point A should be a source where the information is coming from, and point B should be the point where information should go to, and this one is known as the receiver. So where this communication taking place is 2 things or 2 points are needed. The first point is the source of the information, and the other point is the receiver, the information where the information is going to. So it requires that communicating parties, well, there are 2 parties, these are 2 parties, the receiver and the source. So these 2 parties, the source simply means it's the sender, where the information is coming from, and the receiver is where the information is received. These 2 share an area of communicating commonalities. That is to say, communications process as a process, or communication processes are completed when the receiver has understood and reacts to what the sender has aired. I'll come again. Communications or communication processes, if or where there is a communication or where the communication is taking place, it means the communication as a process is complete when the receiver has understood what the sender intended intended his message to be received like. I have information which I need to send to you to make it be known to you. In order for that communication to be known as, or to be taken as complete, or to be regarded as complete, it means I, as a sender, I'm sending my information to you. In order for this information to be known as complete, then it means you, as a receiver, you should get what I intended to communicate to you. That's what they're saying. So communication processes are completed when the receiver has understood, you have understood, and the reactions have taken place. Communication yesterday. I want to give you probably certain information, or I'm giving you an assignment. Do ABC. This statement or this communication, it can be complete only if that utengo menda kupasa mawali nipo reaction you have reacted to what I've told you to do, which means that communication is complete. True or false? Yes. Which means we are two of us. There are 2 points. As a sender of the information, as the receiver of the information. And in order for us to say this communication is complete, it means utenga mwenda tuweza kwa mwaumva ndipo you have responded the way how I wanted it to be done. Right? Yeah, that's that communication is complete. Now sometimes there is a problem. As I said, a receiver cannot get what I'm expecting of him or her to respond to. That means that is a problem. That is a problem. But communication, there's a breakdown of communication, it means there's a problem. Right? So, feedback in any communication, feedback is critical. In any communication, feedback is critical or important to effective communication between 2 parties. Feedback. Where there is communication, feedback is very crucial and important. And if there is no any feedback, it means there is a problem. If there is no any feedback, it means there is a problem. And that problem, if there is a problem, that problem needs to be rectified. The sooner, the better. Should be rectified, the sooner, the better. Another difficulty, we are looking at the diversity in special needs. Another one is known as gifted and talented. Gifted and talented. There are some students amongst their fellow students who are gifted and talented. More gifted and more talented than others. That's a problem. That's a problem which needs to be looked into. It's a problem which also needs to be looked into. A gifted child is the one who has advanced cognitive and developmental abilities. We have such kind of children. We have such kind of children. A gifted child is the one who has advanced cognitive that's thinking, advanced thinking, cognitive, and developmental abilities and developmental abilities. So young students who are gifted can be identified by their advanced abilities when compared with the children of their same age. You can agree with me on that. Young children, you may find that in a classroom of students who seem to be like age mates, some of them are struggling in perception of some stuff or things, where others are looking very intelligent, whilst others are maybe struggling in grasping some stuff. So that is to say, we can conclude to say, there are some in that class who are gifted as compared to others. We have seen this, or we've proved this through the advancement of their abilities. There's a problem in the class, or maybe a mathematical or issue. Could be arithmetic or algebra or geometry to a certain group of students, but their perception will not be the same. Martha can understand the same question so fast and deal with that particular problem so fast, whilst James and the Rhoda will be struggling, very slow in thinking, and the way how they're receiving that particular problem is quite different from the first student who did that so fast. So that is a clear indication, to say that there are some students who are gifted and also talented. Now, what could be the characteristics of this? What could be the characteristics of this kind of problem? Let's say you can know such kind of students that they have a problem in the perception of, some of them are gifted, whilst others are not, through the grasp and understanding of new ideas. Grasping and understanding of new ideas. Where some how can you know that these students, some of them are gifted, whilst others are not? I've said you can know them through the way how these students are grasping and understanding new ideas. Yeah. Class just like this one. Yes, they're talented. How many know? Ukapeleka mwina assignment yotana achiti zotutandaze alipo when a new ideas come, you grasp that new idea so fast as compared to others. Will be struggling, but in the they're struggling, whilst others are doing what? They are solving that particular problem, or they are grasping that new idea so quickly as compared to those who have failed to do that. These two kinds of these students. Could we have the talented one, winner is not talented, or gifted one, whilst the others is not gifted? How can you differentiate? How can you look at them? How can you know them? You can know them through this means. They have a keen general interest in broad range of areas. Those students who are intelligent, they may have a keen general interest in broad range of areas. So they have wide range of abilities or areas.
What range of interests?
Abilities or areas. The range of areas or abilities. Wide range. You may know that this student is gifted or is talented. So such kind of students, they are known as gifted or talented. Again, how can we know such kind of students that they are gifted or talented? They are always curious. The word curious simply means eager. They are always curious, always seeking new knowledge. They are always curious. The word curious, if you don't want to use curious, you can use eager. They are curious or eager, always seeking new knowledge. Always seeking new knowledge by asking many questions and exploring. Such kind of students, they are good at asking many questions. They want to explore more. They want to hear more. Again, finally, how can you know these students are gifted or talented? You can know them they have attentive memory. They have attentive memory. You can know them by knowing that they have attentive memory. They are good at memorizing things. Their memory is good. Their memory is good as compared to others. So, that is the diversity in what? Anywhere, diversity in learning difficulties, diversity in learning difficulties, or diversity in children with learning difficulties. I don't know if you have any question. If you have any question, ask me. Is there any question? No question? Let me read this before we go to another point. I've taken an example from a certain university, and this university is in the United States of America on the same diversity. And because we're talking about understanding and respecting diversity, we have seen diversity. Sure, we have seen diversity in the areas of those students with the learning difficulties, right? Now, let us go to, this is an example, I'm citing an example from a certain university, which is known as Drexel University School of Education. We are talking about diversity, and this kind of diversity, we're talking about cultural diversity. You know, in a school just like this, we have students, even if we're not looking at the area of diversity, I mean of disability, but it's a fact that we have cultural diversity here. Cultural diversity, culture is the way of life, right? Now, we have children who are also disabled, those who are body able, they don't have any disability. They have probably some of them learning disabilities of some sort. So all these students, all these learners, they have, they're coming from different, maybe ethnicity, race, religion, and so on and so forth. Now that's why probably a good example of this, they have put it in the cultural diversity. That is to say, you're from a certain kind of, tribe. She also comes from a certain type, but she belongs to a certain tribe. So here at UNIRIO, we have got students from different tribes with different cultural beliefs, right? Those students who are in a certain school with different disabilities, they are also coming from different cultural groups with different beliefs, right? Now, if we are to go by this cultural disability, they are saying cultural diversity in the classroom is on the rise. This is according to a document from the United States of America. They are saying it's in the rise. Cultural diversity is in the rise. Kuhusiana na chikani nizina zote wakati antu wale wasiana kwa zikani zao zote wasiana zikani zao wasiana so kwa mimi amuna mtichini kuweza kuelewa. They have given us like in 2014. They're saying United States public schools hit a majority milestone with Latino, some people from Latino, whilst others African American, these are blacks, and Asian students, having surpassed the number of white students. They are looking at the area of culture. So which means these groups of people that have been mentioned here, they have their own cultural styles or cultural diversity. So they are going further to say, in such communities, the diversity is increasing. And there is multicultural, it is a multicultural society. It is a multicultural society. It's more important than ever for teachers to incorporate culturally responsive instructions in the classroom. Whether teaching elementary schools or middle school or high school students, their saying is important. This is according to this paper. They are saying where there is this diversity, you have students from different tribes, maybe race, religion, etc., etc. According to the teachers who are reporting here, they're saying it's good to have such kind of environment. Diversity. When you have diversity, you have students from different groups. Is important. They have seen it's important. Than having just a group of people from one group, or from one ethnic group, or from one culture, or from one race. But they're saying diversity is very important. According to them, we may see the importance of diversity as we go along. We may have a look at that. So diversity, according to this report, a teacher was reporting to say in a classroom where you had Latino people from probably southern part of America, those are Latinos, from Mexico and other parts, Central America, they are known as Latinos in a classroom. Also, again, they had students from Black Americans. Black Americans, these are black people in America. They are also in the same class. What about those people from Indian origin? They are also in the same class. They're looking at those because here we've been given the cultural diversity. So which means the Latino have their own culture. The Black American also have their own culture. But what about here? We're talking about children with disabilities. We are looking at those children with disabilities. The examples I just gave you. In a classroom with such kind of students, is it bad to have that code? According to what this teacher has given us, or this article from the Drexel University School of Education. It's good. According to them, it's good. Diversity is good. To have people with different problems or makeup or development is good. This is what they're saying. It's good. Now, I may look a good example of that importance. They're saying, why is it important to encourage diversity in schools and workplaces? Not only in schools. We may have diversity in workplaces. Right now, we are looking at diversity in schools, but what about diversity in workplaces? It's just the same. Because those are places where people are found. And what kind of people? Different kind of people. With different cultural background, race, religion, beliefs, etc., etc. Now, we are saying it's important. Why do you think it's important to have such kind of people in the same place? In a school, in a workplace. Why do you think it's important? Just brainstorming. Want to find out if probably know something.
I think we help to know other people's culture.
To know other people's culture. What else?
And it will help them in learning their own culture.
Okay, let us hear what we've been given. They are saying, why is it important to encourage diversity in schools and workplaces? They are saying this is good because it fosters inclusion and awareness around multicultural education. Fostering. That's promoting inclusion. Inclusion is promoted. Well, inclusion is promoted, so promoting inclusion and awareness around multicultural education. And taking cultural responsive approach to teaching benefits all students. What they're trying to say, if you're putting students together with different whatever they have, maybe they come, the beliefs, the religion, and what have you. Those differences, the moment you put them together, these people or these children will respect that. They may see that even though we are different in some area, but in the other parts of us, we are the same. Tukusiana mbali, uimina ni Tumbuka, uimina ni Mkonde, uyokalimina Japanese ule karibani. Kwa maana mbali ina ni families. And they respect other people's culture. They learn to respect other people's culture. So it's very important, according to what this teacher is saying. Not only does creating greater multicultural awareness and inclusion help students with different backgrounds and needs succession, but it encourages acceptance, tolerance, diversity. The moment those people who are different in different aspects, if they are together, they've been included together, they are together, it means this one will encourage acceptance. It encourages what? Acceptance. Comanso. If you have started training them to be together whilst they're at school, remember, in some day, not very far from thereafter time at school, very soon they'll be going out to the world of work. As I graduate from school, they'll be going to the world of work, whereby they'll meet a lot of people, different people. So abalipira lero kulolera akachoka abo abakazinga mawu abamana n'ebibula olosiyansi. How are they going to cope up with such kind of people? But if they will start right now trying to be together with others, that one will help them to do better and better in the world of work. So again, it helps acceptance, and again it helps them to prepare to thrive in the exponential diverse world, because diversity is not only in school, diversity is wherever we go, we find diversity. Commenting a bit on my communities and process. Remember, diversity, that's the quality of being different. If you catch it again, if you see another, that's another. If you think you want to carry on once. So, if they're going to respect that, their life will be simple. They'll lead simple life, not difficult life. So to avoid that, we need to respect the risk. Again, not only does creating greater multicultural awareness and inclusion help students with different backgrounds and needs succeed, but it encourages acceptance and interculturalism and prepare students to thrive in the diverse world. Our society, where there is social cohesion, emotional and behavior wellness, is a great opportunity for a teacher to learn how to create positive classroom environments, and can serve as a foundation for understanding how to promote diversity in our society. I'm saying our social, emotional, and behavior awareness programs is a great opportunity, or is a great chance for us. It's a great chance for teachers to learn how to create positive classroom environment. They are saying here what they're trying to say. They are saying we are coming from different societies, right? Where people do socialize differently. People from chess, a society in a chess, and people from Italy, these people are different, even though they're coming from a society. But those societies, the way how people interact with one another is quite different, right? And the way how their emotions are built up, and even their behavior, wellness, is also different. But if you bring programs, like which programs? Social programs, emotional programs, and behavioral or programs to such kind of people who seem to be different because they're coming from different societies. If you bring programs which will sharpen them to know that we're coming from different societies or backgrounds, but we people are the same. If you make them to be aware of that, a teacher in the classroom will not find it very difficult to bring students from, maybe some of them are coming from Italy, whilst others are coming from chess. All these students, if they are being brought together by this kind of a teacher, bearing in mind that there are some programs which they are training these students to come together, which means this teacher will find it more difficult. Because such kind of problems already, they are training those students to know that they are different, but they're supposed to come together and live together. This is what they're saying. There are some programs whose aims are to train people socially, emotionally, and even as far as behavior is concerned. So that's the opportunity, great opportunity to create positive classroom environment. If you bring those programs, because diversity is promoted in such, through such kind of programs. I don't know if there is any question on that. Msango kwa I know the nazo kugaza so ya huko za nini nazo ngoma ndio tunacheza download what you call it WhatsApp soon after this class. Now they're saying there are types of cultural diversity in the classroom. There are types. The types of cultural diversity in the classroom. So they're saying, listen carefully. They're saying every student, you're a student, right? Are you students?
Yeah.
Okay. Every student is unique. What does it mean?
Student has his or her do something. I did not do the same as her.
Yeah. You can't be the same as this one. I mean, it can't be the same as you are. So each one is different from the other. Yet, unique. So every student is unique. So in order to properly understand and promote cultural awareness, because the idea is to promote cultural awareness, you should be aware of other cultures. You should be aware of other cultures. So in order to promote or to properly understand and promote cultural awareness, teachers need to do what? Teachers need to understand all the different types of diversity. It's very important for a teacher to know what? To know all different types of diversity. I know that different types of diversity. Must understand. It's a must. Types of diversity. And they may encounter in their classroom. Whether a teacher likes it or not, is going to encounter them. Different diversity, cultural diversity. So, for example, types of cultural diversity is race. Race, the first one is race. Only race, what does it mean? Race, we are looking at person's skin color. True or false? Can have a great impact on their experience in society. And this race can also impact how people are being viewed or how they view themselves in a classroom. We're talking about areas where culture can be looked at. Race, the first one. Race, this is person's skin color. So, people themselves may look at themselves and say, how do people look at you? Whilst other people will say, how do I look at that person? We are different. Do you hear that? So a person's skin color can have a great impact or effect, on their experience in society. It can also impact how they view themselves and others when engaging in a classroom activity. I may give you a very good example of what actually happened in South Africa. Yeah? Do you know what actually happened in South Africa during the apartheid system, caliber system? our types of cultural diversity in the classroom. Class ya anachosoma si mapenzi kama anachokuda. Kama anachokuda, mimi anachokuda sana. It's an impact. Culture can be all. So we are looking at the race. Another one apart from race, tiangane ethnicity. Ethnicity. Ethnicity relates to person's culture and nationality. Nationality. One into simple when you talk about ethnicity, into relates to person's culture and nationality. So ethnicity is sometimes confused with the race. These two, they are being confused. Race is color. Huko za ukara leo, ethnicity huko za ukara leo. Huko za kupesa kujini, mtumu kanuna kutoka kwa ya kwanza. Mwana au katika sauni katika race is a sin. So ethnicity and the race, they are different. Listen to this. The same ethnicity relates to a person's culture and nationality. So ethnicity is sometimes confused with the race. But it is important to recognize that while some people may have the same skin color and when other have the same skin color, but they may come from different places. They come from different places and have different cultural beliefs and views of the world. Ethnicity and the rest. I don't know if you're getting me. Now, on this one, there is another one which we are talking about. Apart from ethnicity, there is a religion. Religion is important to understand that people have different religious beliefs. And we'll come back to your new plans. Religion is important to understand. People have different religious beliefs or no religious beliefs, and it may impact their participation in the classroom. We are talking about all these things: race, religion, what. What they're trying to say, listen carefully. What they're trying to say. I've mentioned about, we are looking at types of what? Types of diversity. Yes, diversity. Yes. Now, we are looking at a scenario whereby there's a classroom. So in a classroom, there may be students with different race, students with different what? Ethnicity. Students with different religious beliefs, students with different languages in the same class, students with socio-economic status, some are coming from working family, whilst others poor family or middle. We're also looking at sexual orientation in the classroom where some are gays, whilst others there, the other side, gender identity in a classroom. So all these may be found in one class. Remember, we are looking at understanding the respective diversity. If all these students are in the same class, which means we have understood that even though all of us are students, but on the other side, we are different, right? We are not doing the same things. We also don't belong to the same tribe. We also don't belong to the same religion. But all of us are in the same what? Same class. We understand that. And again, are we complaining? Even though we are different, are we complaining? We are not complaining. That is to say, we are respecting what? each other, diversity. So we are respecting each other, we are respecting the diversity. So that was where I was going. By giving you all these cultural identities, or even cultural, what do you call it, cultural types, or diversity types, cultural diversity types. My focus was going there, in the same place, in the same class. You may have people with different colors, yes. You may have people with different ethnicity. You may have people or students with different religious affiliation. But all of us, we understand we are belonging to these different groups. Again, by allowing one another to live in the same place or environment, it means we are respecting that. We are respecting that. We are not complaining. So, understanding and respecting diversity. My focus was going there. I was focusing much there to say people may be different. But they have understood that, and finally, they have accepted that. The question again will become, how can you promote diversity? How can you promote diversity and multiculturalism? When we look at multiculturalism, it means here is a society, because a classroom is a society comprised of people from different cultures. If you have more than one culture, it means it's a multicultural setting. A classroom like this one comes from, where are you coming from? Original, where are you from? London. And you? You're not coming from the same place. If you have 10 students who are coming from different districts, it means that's a multicultural setup. It's a multicultural setup. And the fact that you could be in the same class, or the fact that you're in the same class, it means, Marolana, you have accepted one another. You are respecting diversity. First of all, you've known you're coming from different places. You have understood. Second, you have accepted to be in the same class. It means you have respected the culture. You have accepted the culture. So, how can you promote? Sometimes, maybe in diversity, where diversity is supposed to be promoted, there's no any promotion. Now, how can you promote if diversity is missing? The respect for diversity is missing. If the respect for diversity is missing, how can you promote that diversity? There are several ways. Teachers and administrators at a school just like this one can ensure that both the classroom and environment and even the curriculum are responsive to the increasing cultural diversity of our society. I'm saying just like in a school like this. How can teachers and administrators and even principals ensure that this place, starting from the classrooms and even the environment itself and even the curriculum, diversity is promoted? What is the teacher supposed to do? Inclusion, fostering inclusion in the classroom. Inclusion must be promoted. Inclusion must be promoted. Facilitate the separation of these students. One, facilitate. Exclusion must be avoided at the fullest or greatest way. Okay, some strategies must be encouraged when it comes to cultural awareness. All students' cultural awareness must be enhanced. Enhance all students' cultural awareness. Encourage all students' cultural awareness. Another thing, take the time to learn about each student's cultural background. Take the time to learn about each student's cultural background and hobbies. Cultural grounds and hobbies. Learning styles, their learning styles, and what makes them unique. And what makes them unique. So of course you have quite a number of them. Some of them you're going to read on your own. I don't know if there is any question. Do you have any question? Do you have any question? No question. They are saying diversity is a problem.
So, it's urgent. It's psychosocial.
Psychosocial. Psychosocial. It is. Psychosocial. It is. You said social diversity, so I mean social, psychosocial and educational characteristics. And therefore, so I was
Is it related to diversity?
Psychosocial. Purely is nature of children with special needs. It falls under nature. It falls under nature. It is because that one is actually it will be in line with what we call it functional limitations. Okay? It falls under nature types and characteristics of children among other things. So we need to have to look into the meaning of the psychosocial itself, psychosocial plan, and how is it related to education of such students with disabilities. One, because of somehow is related because psychosocial with my areas of science here. I'm going to talk about psycho by my areas of design and locomotors, impairment, number, diversity element, it falls under diversity. So antima here you want just the fall on that one because psych has to do with what? Brain. So if the brain is affected, I am certain the short brain that even over from much. And what affects not only the brain, even so mikono, miendo, their movement, muscle there, learning. So your psychomotor puts psychomotor and puts people to fall into different categories of disabilities. Can lead to diversity. Psychomotor can lead to diversity. This is Romans 2. Kelas ini ada. Kuda pastuan. Ya. Kuda pastuan. Kuda so. Mabilo mzee kama katari kufa. Kama ni wewe. Ndio. So okay, so we know mafusa as social form will come and maybe in our next class we'll look at that because there is a relationship to the again you can call it interrelationship. There is interrelationship of social factors and the individual thoughts and even sometimes the way how a child behaves or a person behaves. Some factors are behave. Sometimes they could have the way if somebody is sick, the way how he behaves can lead to some problems. So psychosocial care is needed in such a scenario. So we are continuing with the phone. Now, we are saying diversity is broad. What does it mean? We are looking at children with disabilities. One. Now we are saying we have looked, we've gone through, we've known different disabilities. We've known different disabilities. Now I'm coming down to diversity. I'm saying diversity is broad. So in line with this, children with disabilities I hope they're the same. How? I'm saying disabilities are more than one. Sure. Okay. Diversity is broad. That is to say, these two, they are the same. Or I can say there is a relationship. How? Learners are different. Some one of children with disabilities. And disabilities, there are so many types of disabilities. Learners are different, and their needs too are also different. True or false? True. Children with disabilities. And diversity, they are the same. They relate. They relate to one another. There is interrelationship. There is interrelationship between disability and, diversity and disabilities. Yes, they are. That's what I'm saying. Learners are different. Learners are different in the first place. And different. Learners are different. And their needs too are also different. And it is the responsibility of the teacher in a classroom. It is the responsibility of the teacher to know the appropriate, to know the approach of delivering his or her lessons to students who are different. The responsibility of the teacher. To know the approach of delivering his stuff to students who are different and also who need different stuff from that particular teacher. Diversity ndio siasa is broader. And our school, they are different with different needs. Children with disabilities. Paliwina, hearing disability. Paliwina, learning difficulty. Paliwina, what do you call it? Visual. Which means these students, their needs are different. They are a diversity. They are a diversity. These children with disabilities, they are a diversity. They are different. They also need different what? They need different care. I'm saying difficult children with disabilities. We looked at the types of disabilities. We looked, 1, hearing impairment or disability. 2, vision. 3, learning. 4, math. Are these the same? Will they need the same attention?
No.
Their needs are different. Now diversity, we are saying learners are, if we are saying diversity is broader, diversity is broader. That is to say, learners are different. Learners are different. If they are different, their needs will also be the same. Will not be the same. Their needs will not be the same. Definitely, they will not be the same. Now, if I come back to children with disabilities, we have looked or we've known that they are different. There is someone, a child with a hearing disability, somebody with a visual disability. All these, their needs are not the same. Now again, learners are different and also need different care. Their needs will not be the same, they're different. Their needs will be different. Just like those children with different disabilities. Their needs will be different as well. So which means diversity and broadness of diversity and children with disabilities. They're the same. I hope I'm okay. So, and it is the responsibility. Now, if it's the responsibility of a teacher to know the approach of dealing with diversity. In class, even a class, same class, just like this one. The person will student and if will student and if will student and if la kusoma masana slowly na fast and we na math mozi we and process zile mwe. Now how is the teacher going to handle such kind of class? Because this class then automatically is a diversity class, a class with different disabilities. Now what will be the responsibility of the teacher? The responsibility of a teacher is to come up with an approach, of delivering his or her lessons in order to meet the desires of all of this. Huyu wa hii impairment and desire. Huyu so visual and desire. Huyu wa math and desire. Now it's the responsibility of a teacher to do what? To choose the approach. Of delivering his or her lessons in order to do what? To meet the desires of his students. That's a fact. That's a fact. Very big fact. How can you respect the diversity? How can you respect the diversity? You can respect the diversity, first of all, by diversity, that's learners are different, with different needs. Then, this respect, can it be the same? How can you respect the diversity without knowing what kind of a problem a student has? First of all, you are supposed to know the problem. Sure. Have you respected him? Munaweza kufanya alivyokuwa yeye. Shughuli Mungu atatizo yeye. Aidha mkaleta aiti. Aone kikweli ya Bwana. Kabla mtasi here in US. Simama separate. Let's not respect. So first of all, how to respect the diversity? First of all, what are you supposed to do? You need to identify learners disabilities all there. That's the first step. Number two, how can you respect the diversity? You have first of all identified the diversity, the disability. After having known there is a kind of disability, what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to now to offer a kind of care which should be in line with that kind of a problem. Offer or give care which is in line with that particular disability. Then you are respect that one. Number two, on how to respect the diversity. Identify learners' unique needs. Identify learners' unique needs. I said every student is unique, if you remember. So if each learner is unique, it means each learner has his own needs. If you are going to Zamana by Tumana, Kumba, Papa, Chingani, now you've identified the student by the house, and you've also known that each learner is unique. Therefore, each learner, if it's unique, then provide to such learners what they need. By doing that, it means you have respected. You have respected. Again, how can you respect the diversity? You can respect the diversity by providing unique resources or facilities. Provide or offer unique resources or facilities. In a school where there are no corridors accessible to those students with wheelchair or wheelchair students, if you don't offer those accessibilities, then you're not respecting them. You're not respecting them. You let your students to climb stairs. Once they can't, they will put their own wheelchairs. You're not respecting them. You're not at all. You're not respecting them. Again, how do you respect the diversity? You respect the diversity through or by modifying the curriculum. By modifying the curriculum. Modification of the curriculum. Modification, what does it mean to modify? Modify, what does that mean? Modify, modification of the curriculum, what does that mean? To update or updating. So the curriculum must be added some things to suit those people with different disabilities. Again, how can you respect the diversity? You can respect the diversity by use of different methods in teaching. 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 Let us have a look at the code. Let us have a look at policy schemes or policies. Policy schemes or policies. Can you write that for me? I want to explain on that. Okay, have you written that? We are talking about policies or policy schemes and legislation about the education of children with what? With special needs. Listen to this. I see. Okay, listen to this. They're saying the United Nations Charter, like an agreement, the United Nations Agreement or Charter on the rights of the child states that all children have a right to education. The United Nations Charter or Agreement on the rights of the child states that all children have a right to education. Have a right to education. And they are going further to say, any failure to provide education, and stroke or create the conditions for education progress, and create the conditions for individual progress, and create the conditions for individual progress may be seen or considered to be a denial of a child's rights. May be seen as or considered to be a denial of a child's rights. Now, what are they trying to say? Here it means they want to bring protection. If you can read carefully what I'm saying. It means United Nations, each and every member state Malawi, we are also a member of the United Nations, and we are a signatory. We are signatory to this right, the right of the child. United Nations Charter on the rights of the child. We are a signatory to this one. We agreed on this one. So, if we agree, or any member state agree on this, and the moment that country is doing that is failing to provide whatever they promised or they agreed on, but they are failing to do that, which means what are they doing? What are they doing? They are denying a child of his right to education. Now, such being the case, each and every member state is supposed to come up with a policy. And the policy, that policy is supposed to protect, the policies to protect these children with disabilities. No wonder over there on the heading there, they're saying policies, schemes, and legislations, laws, that's laws, about the education of children with special needs in Malawi. I may come there and I will also go through, there is this thing which they call it Malawi Disability Act. There is a Malawi Disability Act, which is given to each and every Malawian to know. This act, what it is talking about, they're saying the act needs, and I do quote, they're saying, this is an act to make, don't write, if you want me to share it, I'll share with you. This is an act to make provision for the equalization of opportunities. Equalization of opportunities. Which means, that is to say, each and every Malawian citizen has the opportunity to acquire. But those opportunities, because of some factors, we don't make them equal to others, especially people with disabilities. No wonder the government sat down to frame this policy or act, which is saying an act to make provision for the equalization of opportunities for persons with disabilities through what? Through the promotion and the protection of their rights, and also to do what? To provide for the establishment of a disability trust fund, and to provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. Ukachwele act because they know for sure that even though United Nations Charter gave that access, but that accessibility of education by these disabilities, disability people or disabled people, these disabled people, somehow they don't have that opportunity to access this education. No one of them come up with these instruments. So down there they're saying, listen to this. There's a global campaign to ensure that the education for all goals are achieved. And this was founded in 1999. They're saying the United Nations and some of the agencies, such as UNESCO, were major players in the influencing policy and practice development in education. United Nations. So, and United Nations has indicated strong and collective through their international frameworks. So you just usually they are tired.
No, people have my name.
Okay, so we are saying United Nations and some of its agencies, such as a good example of these agencies, UNESCO, were major players in the influencing policy, for influencing this policy. And again, United Nations and these agencies have indicated a strong and collective international commitment. They have put much commitment to see to it that individual countries or member states of the United Nations, they are improving education standards for education, especially those people who are vulnerable and disadvantaged. That's what these city states, member states have done. So our constitution here in Malawi, our constitution in section 112, subsection 2, is saying Malawi as a nation is bound by international agreements, which is entered into before the commencement of the constitution and after. This one, Mzanchita photocopy, when you meet one of these things, you should have it for the sake of exams. And finally, these international agreements or covenants form part of the laws of the Republic. Which Republic? If so provided by an act of parliament, unless otherwise. So these things, you may understand them better as we go along. I'm going to send them to you. Is it not? Is this not? Because some of this is in flash. I don't know if there is any question or question. So far, listen, how many times? Number
the next class.
It was after many we are so Number 17. Number Tuesday.
Tuesday, then was Tuesday, like 9 Tuesday, 17.
17 Tuesday.
18, no, but this is
John?
20.
Una
This is the first week of class.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday, it's 20.
20. Then you will not correct. It's Monday.
If it was Friday, first week of
Iwe unaenda tu umaliza date. Umaliza date kama class. Umaliza class first class. You don't talk but the next class umaliza course.
Okay. First class is already. The second class is already second.
Una serious. Kenapa? We can have happy now. So, okay, from 27, Friday in, I remember, 3, 4 snaps. Let me start for by 8. No, remember, una of the magani, make up, even not Saturday. But some of the today's what?
15.
Let me know what I'm saying.
Maybe to
So which one is
this one is remember.
in makeup? So which means if it comes out to that, we are going to 27. Go, but from 27, how many times will I have moved?
You may not money, don't look at that. Wait,
We're supposed to have we're supposed to have 4 classes.
Yeah.
When the weekend,
When we were going to we figure when I that's 4.
so happens you and you actually join class. You actually have to list. They don't like about 8. So after 8, no,
But then
plus 8. So to man
Friday.
Friday is a class. Even is a kind of 5. So which means Tapanga class 4. Is on. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what it is. Now this is what we call this subject.
Children